So if someone searched your business right now and your competitors show up before you, this episode is going to fix that. Chris Campbell is back. He's the founder of Modern Day Marketing Solutions, and he helps businesses stop guessing and he helps them build marketing systems that actually drive growth. And today he's going to talk to us on how to optimize your Google business profile so that it actually gets found locally. So, Chris, let's start here. If someone Googles their business and they're not showing up, what is going wrong? And by the way, how's it going? And happy Friday.
Man, what a loaded question to start with. Yeah, hey,
Yeah,
happy
I
Friday.
don't want to go easy on you. I'm giving you a hard one.
Well, happy Valentine's Day, early day to you and everybody else certainly that's listening. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, that's probably the number one question that comes out of everyone's mouth is, hey, I know I'm doing X, Y, and Z. How come I'm not showing up on Google? Hey, great question. So let's start with the basics, right? We build a house, we'll start with the foundation first. So let's first identify within your profile, is your profile filled out? Now, a
Mm,
lot of people are going to say, well, yeah, I have my services listed, right? But your services has a page and you fill that part out too. So that's number one. Is your services for your service page filled out? I would say 99% of all the clients that come on board, none of them had it filled out beforehand. And whether they
Their
paid
services
2000,
page, your service page has the service page.
correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So if you go to your Google Business profile, right, and you click on the edit services page, you're going to see what you listed out when you or your agency or whomever, put you on there. And that has another page to it. And that's the most important that needs to be filled out. So that needs to absolutely be filled out with the correct keywords and what you're trying to rank for within that specific keyword as well. So we need to make sure that that's included, and most are not. So that's number one. Right. And number two is photos. I know that sounds crazy, but Google came out and said 54% of businesses that have 100 photos in their Google profile or more have a 50% more visibility guarantee. So, in other words, if you have more photos, you will be seen more often. So, do you have over
Okay,
100? Start with that.
to do with the business. So we want to be taking photos of like the rooms, the food, whatever service we're selling. We want photos of all that stuff.
Absolutely. Employees, it could even be selfies on the job. If you're a roofer, take a selfie on each roof that you're on. Take one on the ground. Whatever you got to do, try to add 10 to 20 photos a day until you can get to 100. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
And then number three, right, in terms of again getting better visibility on Google is your reviews, right? Now there's two parts to this. Number one, Google really wants you to get to 30 reviews before you start to really be considered within Google rankings. So if you're at 20, 25, do whatever it takes to get 5, 10, 15, 20 more reviews to get to 30 reviews. And then how fast do you respond to your reviews? Google's really looking in on that, right? They're a service-based business that also collects data, right? Like, what are you doing to ensure that client has been responded with in a short period of time? And if that answer is, I have not responded to any reviews, that could be a problem right away. And then a lot of people say, well, I have a negative review. I don't really want to respond to it. And that's a problem too. Go ahead and respond to all negatives because that's your chance for people who may be looking to see what your response was. So be
Right.
polite, be brief, and make sure that you ensure that if it is real, take accountability. If it's not, you could give a reason as to why it may not, but make sure you answer it nonetheless.
Mm. Yeah, people get scared when someone writes something negative about them, but I've seen both sides. I've seen someone respond in a rude way, and then I've seen someone respond in a really nice, assertive way professionally. And I'm like, okay, I'd still go there because of the response. But the one that was rude, I'm like, all right, I just kind of laugh it off, and I'd be like, I'm not going to this place.
Yeah. And you won't, and there's no statistic that tells you how many people thought you were a jerk and moved on. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No question. So
And
those
that person
three are
may have
going to,
been a
oh,
jerk
go.
that day. Yeah, exactly. But everyone's human too, so we have to kind of balance it out.
So those are going to be your three fastest ways to get visibility. The fourth way of speeding this up, okay, so we got the foundation done, which is all of our services are filled out. We have 100 photos, we have 30 or more reviews, and we're responding to the reviews. The next step is essentially kind of framing in our house. So now we're going to look at everything that has to do with posting. How often do you post on your page, right? Your Google business page, right? I recommend, if you haven't posted in a while, start posting 3 to 5 times a week, right? Let the audience know what you're interested in, right? Answer questions that people may have on the internet, right? If you are, again, a roofer, right? Like update people on the latest weather that occurred, update people on the leaks that you're finding out, update people on the new type of shingle that you recommend. Like, there's so many opportunities to have a call to action as well as an education moment within that page. And not only that, you want to link that Google post to a service page within your website. So give people another step to know more about you. So when they link it, they're on your website. Now we're starting to capture some data now. So that's a very,
Mhm.
very, very important process that will get this house framed up, if you will.
So is more posting good or does it matter? I've heard both sides. I've heard like if you want to grow, post 3 times a day for the next 100 days and you're going to grow so much because you're constantly putting content out there. But I've also heard the opposite that like just enough, like you said, 3 to 5 times a week at most. Is there a secret sauce? Is there a recipe that actually works, or is it kind of up in the
Well,
air and dependent on who responds, how many people respond? I don't know. Let us know.
Well, I'll put it this way. Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to be posting 3 times a day, but if you post 3 to 5 times a week, that's great. Google really wants to see at least one post a week. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. So you're appeasing Google with one post, but you're doing a better job of serving your clients by 3 posts, right? And so there's a right and a wrong way to do that. So yeah, definitely get 3 posts out, if nothing else. Make sure you got great pictures that could go along with it. Also, if you have any videos, some great videos that are 10, 15 seconds long, put that in there too. People love that as well. Again, better visibility is better for your brand, anyways.
So what about name, address, and phone number? How critical is that information on a Google business page?
Yes. So let's say, okay, so we put the foundation in, we framed up the house, your name, address, phone number. We call it a NAP, NAP. That's the acronym. Yeah, I would say that's like the painting of the house at this point. Like, okay, now we're starting to really put it together. Yeah. So there is a way to check for that. And then you also want to make sure that within that it's all correct information. I can't tell you how often you have a phone number in there that's the wrong phone number, the wrong
Oh, it's happened
address,
to
or
me.
you,
I've called, yeah, pizza place, and it was like a dentist office or
yeah,
something.
yeah, absolutely. And so if you don't do that, yeah, that's going to hurt you. It will definitely limit your, the max that you're going to be able to climb in rankings for sure by not having that corrected. And then a little last one that people don't realize, right? And this is really going to put the flooring and the kitchen, everything in, is called a citation, right? A citation is an outside source that knows who you are, right? So
Mm.
what you want to do is get as many citations as possible. Now, there are four, I don't want this to be too complex, but there's four data aggregators that are in the US, and those aggregators are like amplifiers for your name. So you need to make sure that those aggregators know who you are, right? And so Data Axle is one of them. Data Axle represents 20 million small businesses in the US. If they don't know who you are, then that's a problem. They're massive. They push everybody's information out anywhere. And so, yes, those citations become ultra critical by, being known. So understand that and make sure that you're looking up your citations as well. And that will dramatically increase both your rankings, your viewers, organic, potential clients that are coming in. Those are going to be your best high intent clients too. So, I mean, it's just, of course, it's mightily critical.
Right. So what about the primary category? How much does the primary category really impact visibility, like choosing the right one?
Right. So very a lot, right? So imagine you're a builder, right? But you put in you're a builder, but you also do remodeling work, right? So there's two major categories. And instead of picking remodeler, you put builder. Well, now your visibility for the remodeling stuff can be hampered because you even though you may do more money in the remodeling, you still want to try and get access to the builder part of it. That's the wrong way to do it. So I would go remodeler and then add a service in for new builds because that if that's going to be the bulk of your money, then that's where you need to focus on. So yes, making sure that your primary category is listed first, no matter what. Yes, definitely check for that.
Okay, and so what about business description? Is what's the importance of that? So what should it include? What should it not include?
Mm.
How long should it be?
So most business descriptions, I would keep it, 200 to 300 words. Anything more than that, you're kind of just stuffing words in there. So it's not that important. But, overall, this is the humanized version. Don't chat GPT that. For sure, go in and be honest with yourself. Like, hey, what are you actually passionate about? So if someone's reading that, they understand that, hey, I'm a remodeler in Oklahoma City that's obsessed with wonderful kitchen remodels and bathroom remodels that people can be proud of. Like that's a great description. It has some keywords, but ultimately, if someone reads it, they don't think ChatGPT. They think, "Wow, this is someone who is passionate about that." So yes, absolutely. Keep it minimal, keep it brief and to the point, and keep it humanized. More importantly.
Is this where you should also have keywords that are searchable? Like, so where do the keywords go? So if someone is a builder, they want to include those generalized terms that people will Google to find a builder? Like if I was searching for a new builder, I'm gonna search, local builder,
Mhm.
right? How important is are those keywords and where do we include those?
So think about it in this respect, right? When you on your Google business profile, you're going to have services listed, right? You want to keep it to about 10 to 15 services. You don't want to list, let's say you're a remodeler, you don't want to list flooring, kitchen remodel, bathroom remodeler, painter, exterior painter, fencing guy, roof repair, roof guy. Like you need to limit it to your main core services. And then of course those
Mhm.
services has the next page that needs to be filled out. But yeah, nothing more than 10 to, I would say 15 is probably the max. We have tested 20 and 25, and then your visibility for everything starts to get muddled. So you really want to
Mm.
dial in on the things that you love, right? The things that you really, really, really want to pursue within Google. But those are still only as good as your website, right? If your website pages has 10 pages or 15 pages of your services, those should match your Google profile as well.
Right. Okay. So back to the description. If someone is super vague or unclear, does that tell Google that their business is also vague and unclear, so it doesn't know who to show them to? Or how does that work?
Okay, so again, your in terms of your Google profile, it will have some impact, very minimal.
Mm,
However, if your website page is also very minimal and vague, you're going to get dinged more from that than you will your Google business profile. So let's say I'm going to go back to builder and let's say we put bathroom remodeler, right? And your description is I'm the best bathroom remodeler in Oklahoma City, right? Yes, not a good description. Didn't really go into some potentially bigger keywords that we could have used. It's vague, but it's fine. It's not the worst thing in the world. The worst thing in the world is having nothing, right? And
mm,
then also your website. Let's say your website doesn't have a dedicated page to it. You're missing out on all of that. So if your
right.
website page was bathroom remodeler, and then you also had another page that was bathroom remodeler Oklahoma City, you're going to get twice the credit for that. So
Mm,
I would rather see that and no service information than the alternative, right? No service pages and you got to fill it out correctly. So yeah, no, it just at the end of the day it is minimal, but it is important at the end of the day.
okay. And so I want to go back to photos for a second. So are what photos should people include and not include, or is it just a general
Okay, so there
overview?
is there is speculation out there, and I don't I don't have the data to back it up. I don't know that anyone has the data to back it up. But let's say Lisa takes a picture of hers, and let's say you're a yoga instructor, right? You take that picture and you attached it to your Google profile. Well, one, you need to fill out the information of that picture when you save it, right? So it needs
Mm,
to say yoga instructor, New York, New York, right? Like that would be the proper way to save that picture. Or hot yoga instructor, if you do hot yoga, if you were to do Pilates, right? Like you want to make sure that that's filled out in that save description. And then you have an alt text, which is allowing you to describe the picture within the page. You need to make sure that that's filled out correctly too. So then upload it. But in terms of what the picture is, that's not necessarily as important as it just being uploaded to your profile.
right. So uploading properly. I think most people, if I'm speculating, miss those steps because they
Mhm.
don't know or they're just too lazy to do it properly.
Well, and I would say most people just don't realize, like, hey, yeah, how you
Right.
save the photo is actually really important. And thing with videos. Save your video so that it's actually updated correctly. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So then what parts of the profile do business owners almost always ignore that actually drive traffic? Like, what would you say are the most important parts?
Okay, great question. The most important part is that you update your profile. It's that you just log in and you do anything in that profile. Google recognizes that, let's say you have a holiday and your hours say open, but you know you're closed. That's a problem, right? So you're going to
Right.
get rewarded
Oh, yeah. That
for
drives me nuts as
updating
a
your profile.
consumer. If someone says they're open and I go there and they're not.
Right. Because remember, Google is two things. It's a service-based business that collects data. So it's going to make sure that its clients that it serves are very well taken care of. So it's when people ask a question, they have the answer within the result of their question. And they want to make sure that if it's a local-based business, that they're updating their profile and often. So if nothing else, get in there once a week, right? But when you update your posts, you're updating your profile at the same time. So it's a win-win. So you're going to knock out two that way. But I would say for sure that's the number one way for Google to start paying attention to you again.
So to be clear, someone should be updating their profile weekly to stay
Yes,
relevant.
absolutely. Multiple times to be exact, because you want your profile to be posting weekly. So there are
Right.
services from other, agencies that don't even go to your profile. They just connect to it and then they're able to post from the link. Still go in the profile and try to make sure you do something. Don't just rely on that because that may still hamper you.
Okay. And so getting more reviews. So how important are reviews? And what if we have a period of time where we get like 20 reviews and then we get no reviews? Like, does Google recognize that it's kind of like stagnant? Is consistency with reviews important?
Yes, 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 and yes. Let's say 1 to a 10 reviews would be a 9 out of 10. Yeah. So
Okay.
ultra important that you get consistent, steady reviews. Some of the best ranking businesses that we work with get 1 to 4 or 5 reviews a week, right? So if you can
Okay.
stay in that range, then you're staying top of mind of Google because guess what you're doing? You're responding to the review then. So we see
Right.
the review, you're responding to the review, you're active in the page. Google is going to show you some love. So yes, absolutely, reviews are critical. Even bad reviews, you're still getting in the page, you're still responding, and you're still being active. Very, very, very important. So yes, absolutely, 9 out of 10, no question.
Okay. And I know some business owners that are a little bit uncomfortable asking for reviews. Do you have any tips on how to ask for those without it being uncomfortable?
Absolutely. So let's say you're a business owner and let's say you're doing less than $10,000 a month in revenue, right? Your first thing should be one, how many of those people have left a review if they have not? And what can you give away for a review? Right. So if I said, Lisa, listen, I know, hey, I understand you got a yoga studio. You haven't left me a great review. How about I do this for the next 2 weeks for you in return for a good review? Or what could I do for you that would warrant a good review. Maybe you just will say yes right off the bat. Or maybe you say, hey, actually, could you do X, Y, and Z for me? Absolutely. Let's say you're a builder, a remodeler, roofer, whichever, any one of the trades. Say, hey, for if I were to give you $20 discount for giving me a good review, would that be worth it? Would you,
Right.
if you paid $20 for a 5-star review, would it be worth it? Yeah, absolutely. And there are
Right.
businesses that do it. There's nothing wrong with that practice, but it needs to be warranted, right? Hey, if we did a good
Right.
job, would you be willing to give us a good review? And most people just are going to say yes. But if not, offer a lead magnet of some sort. Hey, I'm willing to do X, Y, and Z for this. Absolutely.
Right.
And let's say
Should we
you're
be?
just, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Let's say you're just starting out. Maybe you're an entrepreneur that, you're not even at $2,000 a month. Everybody that you talk to, right? Even if you give them great advice, ask for that review. Hey, I know you're not going with us, but how did I do? If they said, "Oh, you were great, but this was a friend referral, so we went a different direction." Hey, would you be willing to give me a review just based off my knowledge, based off the fact that you felt comfortable even having this conversation? And if that answer is yes, absolutely take them up on it. Again, it's a race to 30. Get over 30 and you'll be all right.
Okay. So are we able to put reviews in that came from somebody else and have them be effective? So that's another question that I've gotten before is someone gives you a review, they send it to you by text. You ask them if you can use that. Is there a way to enter that and still kind of get credit for that, or does it need to be third party?
Okay. The answer is no. So I would never do that.
Otherwise, I
Don't
could
do
put a
that.
million good reviews
Um,
on my own page.
yeah, like faking your own Google profile to, give yourself your own review that maybe was truthful from that third party is absolutely the wrong way to do it. Plus, your IP is tracked, so Google understands that data. They're not going to fall for that. But here's what I will say, and this is what we're doing with a lot of clients now. We want video testimonials. Give me a video testimonial review, right? Because if you were interested in my services and I said, "Hey, let me just prove to you that why you should work with us." And I sent over our video testimonial page and it just had pages of people, glowingly talking about you. That social proof is everything.
Yeah,
You're more likely to convert because those video testimonials really spoke to the heart of that person. And when they're genuine,
right,
people knew that.
right. Yeah, you can tell for sure.
Mm.
So what about, let's talk about the Google dashboard. There's insights and data. So what should a business owner actually be looking at and paying attention to on the dashboard?
Absolutely. So there's a performance area. You want to click on that performance, right? And that performance page is going to bring up information that you need to utilize. So it's going to talk about overviews. It's going to talk about calls, clicks, bookings, and website clicks. And it's going to give you 6 months worth of data, right? Feel free to go through those months and see, were you up, were you down, what happened. Also, if you have an agency you're working with, you're going to see real quickly, are they doing their job, right? Your
Mhm.
goal oftentimes is you're not always going to see the data of what they're doing, but you can tell if your phone calls are going up or if they're going down. And last thing you want to do is see data where it's just trending down and they're telling you they're doing a great job. Clearly, there's a misunderstanding of what's happening. But overall, you want to know the data of your business because if you don't have that information, how can you grow and scale correctly? Right?
Yeah.
98% of small businesses don't make it to year five. 98%. So only 2% are going to make that through.
Wow. That's crazy. That's a low statistic.
Yeah. So if you don't know your own metrics on your own business, then how realistically are you ever going to overcome the shortcomings that come your way? How do you know that you're in a downturn? You just know
Mhm.
because your P&L is bad? That's not good enough. We have to know the organic data
Wait, what is
on Google,
P&L?
your profit and loss statement.
Okay. Just want clarity.
Yeah. So if
Um,
you see your quarterly numbers and you're like, "Ooh, we did 3 million last month and this month you're at 2.5, the next month or next quarter you're at 2." Okay, we have a downtrend. What's happening? Your
right.
Google profile could tell you right away. Lack of phone calls, lack of interactions, no one's clicking on your site anymore. Something's happening and we need to answer that reason.
Right. So I guess you're kind of answering this now, but I wanted to ask how someone can tell if their profile is improving and does like one bad month really mean anything?
Yeah, absolutely. So there is a program that we use called localfalcon.com, and I can give you the link for our affiliate link to use. And essentially, it's a great way to look and see how you're ranking and scaling within Google. One, it's going to tell you your rankings for all the or any of the keywords that you're interested in. Two, it's going to tell you AI searches, how many people are finding you by AI. That's starting to become an important metric. It's still
Yeah.
less than 1% of all the searches, but it's an important metric that is surging that you need to know. And then overall, you need to know kind of where you stand over the last period of time. If your rankings are dipping, then there's something wrong. If your rankings are improving, why are they improving? What is it that you've been doing? If your
Mhm.
agency is saying, hey, we deployed X, Y, and Z, we know it's working, continue doing it. But if you see rankings are down and they're saying that we deployed it, that could be a reason why your profile's in trouble. You're not getting those calls. Like it's very important to stay on top of how you are searched. Within your profile, you'll see that in the performance tab, though. You're going to know, hey, last month I had 10,000 clicks. This month I only have 4,000 clicks.
Right.
Something's going on. What is that? Right. And so, yeah, very important to know. But that local Falcon will be super, super, super important for staying on top of your business.
Amazing. And what about realistically? Like, how long does it realistically take to see movement after proper optimization of your
Yeah.
Google profile?
So most businesses, when we refer to Google, we're going to call it SEO, right? So search
Uh-huh.
engine optimization. We're going to say, hey, this is your on Google optimization page, right? So everything that has to do that will affect your scores. Most people, if they haven't updated anything and haven't done anything, they'll see a good bump right away. 7 to 14 days. Yeah, they should be able to see stuff. Now, if Google doesn't index them for up to 30 days, which is possible, then they may not see that for that long. If they've done most of the stuff, but maybe they didn't answer reviews or don't have photos, it could be a little bit longer. But ultimately, if you haven't done anything, yeah, you'll see a pretty good pop pretty quickly.
Oh, that's awesome. So, what about the people out there that are like, holy shit, there's so much that we're telling them right now. If someone listening is feeling really overwhelmed, what is
Mhm.
one thing that they should do this week to start moving the needle and fixing things?
Absolutely. First thing you do, grab a drink, cigar, whatever you got to do. Find your quiet spot, get your laptop out, get your desktop ready, make sure the kids are in bed, and take an hour to just go through your Google profile. Go through,
Mm,
click on every button and ask every question. And if you're not sure, put that question in ChatGPT. ChatGPT will help you out on that. Say, hey, and screenshot it and send it in. Hey, I'm missing X, Y, and Z. What do you recommend? Right? And it's going
right.
to help you. There's not a specific prompt you have to put in. You can just put in like, "Hey, how do you think my profile is 1 to 10?" And they're probably going to tell you a 2, 3, or 4. You already know where you stand. Just go ahead and update it. But it will take a full hour, depending on the amount of stuff you have. It can take several hours, and then it's the upkeep of doing this every week to ensure that you're staying in front of Google's eyeballs to rank correctly.
Right. That sounds like a pretty fun ritual, though. Grabbing a drink, sitting down with your drink and cigar. Kids are
Man,
asleep, and it's just you and your computer, just you and Google.
Man, that sounds great right now. Honestly, I'm in.
So, if you had to summarize it in one sentence, what makes a Google profile convert instead of just exist?
It's all about the house, right? All about
Mm,
the house. Is each level built correctly? Is it built to be recognized by Google? If it's not, that house is never going to come to fruition. Your rankings will stay exactly where they are, and you'll never improve the way you want to.
right. So I'm just like serious. I'm just thinking in my mind. Obviously, I'm thinking in my mind. How many Google pages are like irrelevant these days? Like, are there? There must be like thousands of businesses that aren't even making any movement on Google right now. How loud is that noise on Google?
I mean, a lot, right? And so that's why if you really take the time, let's say you updated 80%, right? You didn't get everything done, but you got a lot done. There's probably a good chance that you're going to get a big bump within that 14 days pretty quickly, just simply because no one
Mhm.
else is, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. Let me put it this way. We probably audit, I don't know, 40 to 50 businesses a month. And I would say all but maybe one have an actual profile filled out correctly. So that
Wow.
just tells you like most people don't fill it out, don't update it, they neglect it. There's not enough photos, reviews are unanswered, they're not pursuing reviews. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Easy to spot at that point.
Yeah. And I think it's pretty obvious, just like anything. Like if you think about your Google page and you're not confident about it and it makes you feel concerned, that's your sign that you should go, fix it or look at it and update it. Thanks so much for this conversation. Am I
Yeah.
missing anything? Is there any other important factors that we missed today that you'd like to include?
No, I think just when it comes to Google, it's, they're going to show you there's a little dial that says performance strength. And if it's 100 or not, your goal should be to just fill that little profile in all the way. And when it's filled in, it glows green. You're off to a good start. That's at least the next step. But ultimately, don't get bogged down by it. Don't get bogged down by seeing metric numbers, from week to week. SEO does take time unless you know other means of helping rapidly rank. But for the most
Mhm.
part, it's gonna take 2, 3, 4 months before you can see it fiscally from better high intent people calling into you at that point.
Right. So, Chris, tell everyone more about what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, my name's Chris Campbell. I'm with Modern Day Marketing, and so we work with businesses all throughout the world. We are considered to be media buyers, so we buy data and we help ensure that your Google ads, your Facebook ads actually convert where you get real leads. Most of our returns are between 3 and 5x, but more importantly, we want to be a partner you count on. We want to be a partner that, hey, you're struggling to get the results. Why are we doing that? We'll do a free deep dive into understanding marketplace. Even if you don't go with us, like identify how you can get better, continue to improve, and be obsessed with your own business. Be obsessed with being better than good, right? The enemy of great is good. So don't be good, be great, and strive for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for being here today. I'm excited for the next episode. And if you guys have missed the first one, go back and check that out. What did we talk about last time?
Yeah, so last time we were talking about branding. So branding
Yeah.
is very important. If your visibility and branding isn't good, then you're off to a bad start anyways. And then if your Google profile isn't there, then maybe you're just making it by word of mouth. But you're one bad word of mouth away from not getting more word of mouth. So always be mindful that you have to continually strive to get better.
Yeah, agreed. So you guys, if you didn't check out the branding episode, go back and check out that one, listen to this one, and you're going to be well on your way. Thanks so much for being here today, Chris.
My pleasure. Thanks, Lisa. You guys have a good one.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys, if your business profile is not optimized, that is essentially your digital storefront. So it's if it's not optimal and if it's unclear, people are going to walk right by it. So make people enter your store. Until
Right.
next time, take care, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day.